Hey everybody, on this month's episode of Move the Needle, we actually have a guest with us. And this is an important topic that we're going to discuss youth advocacy. Stay tuned because this impressive young man is coming up next. All right, everybody, welcome back from that short break. Man, first of all, before we get to our guest, I obviously have to say hello to my co-host, JR Ford. How are you, man?
I am doing well, sir. How are you?
Good, 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 good. We have hit November, man.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys have a snow yet? Have you had any snow?
No, we had a big nor'easter, so it's like
Okay.
a winter time kind of hurricane
But
that blew through
ee,
last week. And there were like
that's
100 mile
ugly.
per hour winds. So this was
Ee,
no laughing matter.
ee.
There was like widespread damage on the
Yeah.
coast.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, no
Yeah.
damage to your home
No,
or anything like that.
we're all
Okay.
good. We're all good.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah.
Good. Good. And you got plenty of months for snow to build up. So
Yeah,
there's that.
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
I can't believe we're already in November. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Things are cooling
folks.
down there.
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
man, the temperatures dropped a little bit. We have a freeze warning.
What?
Yeah. We got a freeze warning.
Yeah.
So we're
All
we're
right.
it's time
Yeah.
for the coats. Time for the
Yeah.
coats.
Yeah.
Man, but for our listeners, man, we got I feel we've got a special show for this month. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Jean-Pierre Roberts Jr., who is one of the founders of Carna Mental Health and Wellness. JP, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Appreciate you joining us for this month's Move the Needle. Um, so first off, man, let's jump into it. Can you tell us a little bit about? Well, we're going to call it Karna from here on out. But can you tell us about Karna mental wealth health and well? Okay, can't even say that three times fast, right? So I think we're going to stick with. Can you tell us about Karna and um, how how you got it started?
Okay. Karna is a small business started by me and one of my friends, Noemi Duran.
Hmm.
Um, it's a business with the goal of providing students like myself with affordable mental wellness materials such as fidgets for anxiety, gum, teddy bears, and a way to kind of show appreciation and love towards our peers. This came to fruition from the past year's events with all of our peers and all of the schools and in our area going into lockdown and us
Hmm.
being online and having a social disconnect between each other and everyone experiencing a lot of pressure and change at once, and we felt like it was something that was needed in our community more than ever.
Wow,
Wow. That
wow.
that's incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
So
That's
Lee, what were you
yeah.
doing in high school? Were you starting mental health clubs?
of of course I was.
This is
Yeah.
incredible. This is
Yeah. When
incredible. Yeah.
let me get this right. I'm gonna make sure you're a senior, JP.
Yeah,
You're a
senior.
senior. Okay. Yeah, JR, of course,
Wow.
man. When I was a
Yeah.
senior, I had my own business. I was creating the internet when I was a senior. So yeah,
I mean, yeah. Sure. Yeah. This is
course,
incredible,
folks. Of
JP.
course, folks, we joke. Yeah,
Yeah.
JP, kudos to you and your friend name again. Can you repeat her name?
Noemi Durand.
I mean, okay.
No, I mean.
Like seriously, we can't. We are both amazed by that
Yeah.
because just to have that type of thought process,
Hmm.
be there for your peers based on the mental health struggles that the pandemic has brought on.
Mm.
That is nothing short of amazing. So man, well done. Well
I
done.
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Can you
Um,
talk a little bit? Oh, I'm sorry, JR. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I was just thinking while you were responding, Lee, about what what I feel, kind of just what this all comes down to, which is empathy, right? And mindfulness. And I know we're gonna probably get into that, but that just resonated with me in the awareness of taking care of others. So that is truly commendable.
Big time. And that's, there's a lot of adults, um, some our age, some a little older, right, who like to say that the youth, and our young folks are just, floating along, or that our young folks aren't really taking, taking steps to secure their futures, stuff like that, and again, like, JP, man, like, this is really a huge step, that you saw a need, and you and Noemi saw a need, and you created something that was not about yourselves. You created something that was for other people. You know,
Yeah.
that is truly stepping outside the box and thinking, like JR said, thinking with empathy, with compassion. You know, it's
Yeah.
just good stuff. Can you talk a little bit about how you got started, right? So we got the why, and and how long has it been going on? How long have you had this business?
We've officially been launched for about a month now, but we've been working on it for almost the entire year.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, so it's relatively new.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So I was thinking you had been doing this for a while too. Okay,
No.
gotcha. So kind of give us a little backstory. What did you and Noemi kind of talk about, or um, how did you get started even with the process?
The process started earlier in the year. We kind of came together during an event that Sexist DC was having, and that's when we
Mhm.
initially met. And we talked outside of that event, and we kind of recognized that we shared a lot of similarities when it comes down to our passion for youth advocacy and
Mm.
kind of representing the youth voice in DC.
Mhm.
And we just discussed mental health and sexual health and things like that, and DCPS in general. And we came
Hmm.
to a conclusion that mental health was something that is lacking in our schools as high schoolers, especially at Wilson. I have never met our psychologist, not a single
Oh
time.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we saw a need, and we said, it's been a hard year for all of us. We found a little
Hmm.
Mhm.
break. This could be something nice to bring up and to help everyone with. So we started working on it probably July this year.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Wow.
That's you know what, man? Like we should just end the episode. Like there's no more to say, right? This is
It's like a mic drop. This is a mic
right.
drop
That's
moment.
I'm
Enough
saying.
said.
Like
Enough
it's
said.
amazing. We're talking to the Greta Thunberg of DC. Okay. And now maybe that's a bit extreme, but like that's how big a deal this is, And for those who don't know who Greta Thunberg is, I'm not even sure I'm saying her name right, but she is another young person fighting for climate change. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, man, wow. So can you talk a little bit about that event? It was the Sex is DC, or what was the event?
It's I forgot what actually no, I
The
think I
actual
remember.
term
It
of it?
was
Hmm.
it was during last December. It was
Hmm.
like condoms and cocoa or something like that. It was held by
Yeah.
uh, the Department of Health. They have a little
Hmm.
a group of youth advocates who run the
Hmm.
Sexist DC campaign,
Okay.
Sure.
where
Okay.
they kind of teach high school students about sexual education and sexual safety and things like that. And they were having
Hmm.
an event, and I was helping host it as a part of the youth advisory board. And Noemi joined in as a part of the Young Women's Project,
Hmm.
who also does youth advocacy and around sexual health in DC. And they're just recently branched out to do mental health advocacy and school safety advocacy and things like that.
Hmm.
But that's where we originally met.
Gotcha, man. That is,
Wow.
excuse me, that is such a big deal because how many times, I can count, multiple times we see things like bullying, we see cyberbullying,
Hmm.
Hmm.
just to name a few things that happen in schools, right? Middle school, high school.
Yeah.
Um, and also think that's an important thing too when you are talking about sexual health, because if you don't take that seriously, it used to be that the worst thing was teenage pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot worse things than that. So that's an important step in at least being open and
Yeah.
honest about
Yeah.
the topic, not not sitting back and not just letting people, for lack of a better term, experiment and,
Yeah.
and find out all of the bad things that could happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, now that's really important, man. I
So
see you are a mover and a shaker, sir. You are definitely a youth advocate. That's awesome.
yeah. JP,
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions, just some kind of some brief questions. Tell us what it's been like over the last month since you launched Karna, as well as kind of the, I guess, kind of, I guess more broadly about, some of the mental health challenges that you've seen, observed, or even may have experienced that help to kind of motivate you to kind of take this on.
Um, to the first question about the past month, I will admit has been very difficult, and
Mm,
it hasn't been difficult because of like kind of setting up. It's been difficult
mm,
more of balancing running a business and getting social media going and being
right.
consistent with what's going on in our schools. Uh, as you know, I'm a senior, and November is
Hmm.
a huge month for us because
Oh yeah.
that's when our early decision and early action applications for colleges are due. So
Right.
for the
Mm,
past month, that's what I've been working on.
Oh
So I haven't
wow.
been able to focus as much attention as I'd like to
Hmm.
towards Kona. Although
Yeah.
now that I'm done, that's what I'm focusing on now, and we're planning out what we're going to be posting about
mm,
and the content
Yeah.
we want to push and how we want to promote ourselves.
Wow.
And with Noemi, she's just been busy with extracurriculars and
Hmm.
advocacy outside of her school and inside of her school as well.
Yeah.
So that it's been hard finding a balance, but we're getting there. We're very close. And then with the experiences and things that I've seen in regards to mental health, I know a good few of my friends have personally been through things. I know my friend was recently clinically diagnosed with depression. He's on
Yeah.
Prozac, and
mm.
I know a couple of my other friends have had experiences with suicidal thoughts,
Hmm.
and thankfully they aren't dead or harmed or anyway, which
Yeah.
Yes,
is
that's good.
just amazing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I've seen like at Wilson, a lot of students go through a lot of things,
Yeah.
and thankfully they're fairly vocal about it, but
Yeah.
it's still difficult for them to in what's the word I'm looking for to push and make a change in our system
Yeah.
because
Mm,
students don't have direct contact with the administration and with the
Mm.
department of or board of education and all the people who can make the changes.
mm.
Wow.
So you're saying that, first of all, yeah, I'm glad that, first of all, your friends did not follow through and commit suicide,
Yeah,
thankfully.
Yeah.
Also, I'm hearing you say that the students are actually speaking up. The students are
yeah,
trying to voice their concerns or what they're going through, but it sounds like they don't have access to their resources. Is
yeah,
that sound right?
yes,
Okay, okay. Um, wow. And maybe that's something that, not just Move the Needle podcast can help, because we are definitely going to spread the word as much as we can.
Right.
But that's also something that possibly, don't know if you know this, but JR is from here. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up in DC.
he understands being born and raised here. I've been here for 13 years, and possibly, um, through coaching, may be able to help provide
Yeah.
some resources as well. or
Yeah.
provide some services to the school, we can always talk about that
Yeah.
after the show. But
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's good to hear that the young people are actually speaking up for what they need and what they see are needs of others,
Yeah.
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 Excuse me.
That's truly commendable. Truly
Mhm.
commendable.
So yeah, that also says something for our listeners. I just want to take a moment and point out that this is the point where we as adults who can not just vote, but have a say in a lot of different things, right? We have a say in people who are on the school boards. We have a
Hmm.
say in different local officials. Listen to what JP is saying, you guys. He is saying that the young folks are speaking out. They are speaking up. They are saying what they need.
Hmm.
It's our job to meet them where they are, and it's also our job to help push for the advocacy that they're pushing for themselves. It's our job to do that. We can't just let them carry on the fight themselves
Right.
when you may know somebody, or again, we have a little bit more say sometimes as parents, as the adults, as taxpayers, if you will, right? This is part of our job. This is part of our duty in helping bring the youth forward, because pretty soon it'll be JP and his generation running the show.
Right. They'll have their own podcast,
That's
or two. Yeah.
and and we don't want them to forget us when they are running the show. You
Yeah.
know, we
Yeah.
no, but seriously, like I want our listeners to really pick up on that. And yeah, if you wherever you're locally based, right? Maybe that's something you need to look into. Look into what's going on in the schools, even if
Yeah.
you don't have a student there. But
Yeah.
that's always a great start to make change.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So
yeah,
JP, tell us what's on the horizon. Tell us what's now that things have calmed down for you from the early submission or the early submissions or the early acceptance. Tell us what's going on with you now, in terms of, now focusing on the business. Tell us what's in the future.
What's in the future is hopefully I'll be able to, like you said, focus more on Karna, and we're working to figure out like a weekly, um, I don't want to say schedule, but like
Hmm.
a weekly pattern for putting out
Yeah.
information about stress and certain not disorders, but
Hmm.
disorders and mental
hmm
Yeah.
mental struggles that we can post about. Hopefully next week will be stress. Like I said, that's gonna be our first one.
Yeah.
Uh,
hmm
and and yeah, we're just trying to find a flow right now. But
Yeah.
hopefully we want to be able to expand into other materials, kind of diving into the sexual health because that's a
Yeah.
massive component of mental health, and whether
Oh
or not
yeah.
people like to recognize it, and
Yeah.
just kind of expanding into other forms of advocacy that we're already doing actively. Because I mean, if you're doing it, there's no point in not leveraging it.
Right.
I love it. I love it. That's
That's
that's very
awesome.
true, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're already stepping with one foot in one arena, might as well open the door all the way.
Yeah.
I love that. Hey guys, so why don't we take a quick break here, and when we come back, JP, if you don't mind sticking with us, I'd like to ask some more questions about some of the products that you have and like what your website is and the social media and that aspect.
Yeah.
Everybody cool with that?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. All right, folks, stay tuned because we'll be right back with Jean Pierre Roberts of Karna. Hey, folks, this is Lee Grigsby here, health and life coach and founder of Live All Good Coaching. I'll be on the air with Podcast Business News Network, talking about the various things around health and wellness and mental health. Also talking about how mindset is critical to achieving the goals that you set for yourself. You can reach me at liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com, or you can go to my website, liveallgood.com, and fill out the contact form and reach me there. Once again, that's liveallgood.com. Go to the About section, fill out the contact form, or you can reach me at liveallgood, the number 44, at gmail.com. All right, folks, welcome back from the break. Wow, jam-packed segment there. But just to recap, we are here with the latest episode of Move the Needle for November. We are here with Jean-Pierre Roberts Jr., otherwise known as JP,
Mhm.
and he is talking about how he was the co-founder and the business of Karna Mental Health and Wellness that we call Karna. So JP, man, let's jump into some of the things. I love your website. I've
Thank
seen
you.
quite a few things, and you mentioned it, of course.
Mhm.
You mentioned a few things in the first segment. Can you tell us more about the products that you have and why you decided on those particular products?
Okay. So the products we have that ranges from things like just candy,
Hmm.
chocolate, fidgets and candles and things of that nature, bath bombs and things of that nature.
Hmm.
Because when we were developing the idea, we thought of kind of having themed boxes. So instead of having what we have where you kind of just free range pick what you want,
Mhm.
we kind of came up with general ideas: heartbreak, anxiety, confidence, and things like that. And we thought of items that you could put into each category to help um, alleviate that issue. So if you're having anxiety, a candle and a candle is known to be able to help people relax and kind of take a breather and get a fresh scent in their
Hmm.
room and
Mhm.
relax.
The aromatherapy. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Got it. Yep.
And then bath bombs are kind of the same deal, helping them relax, kind of wind
Hmm.
down. With
Hmm.
heartbreak, who doesn't like chocolate and candy? I mean,
Well, isn't that what Halloween is for? Everybody gets their heartbreak out with Halloween, right?
I
well,
know.
I mean, yeah, but Halloween only comes once a year, so you
Yeah,
gotta find something in between.
no, you
That's
got to
true.
hold it for the whole year,
Oh,
and
I don't
you
know.
wait
no,
until
I'm already
Halloween.
I'm already halfway done. I'm just saying. I'm already halfway done.
No, no, that's cool. Sorry,
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but keep going.
it's fine.
Keep going.
It's fine. And then products like fidgets is also anxiety, and yeah, that's how we came up with the product listings. And we've
Okay.
also been doing research on the various things that I just mentioned, and we're
Hmm.
creating blog posts on our website
Mhm.
where it's
Yeah.
just free information about the things and how you can help alleviate them. Like we have meditation tips. Uh, we also have just sources that you can reach out to if you need further help.
Hmm.
We do recognize that we are not professionals, and we're not going
Hmm.
to be the end all be all solution to whatever you're going through, but we're here to
Mhm.
kind of give you the steps towards that solution wherever it
Right.
is.
Right.
That's awesome, man. That you're again, you're giving your peers, you're giving young folks who are going through the same things that you recognize and that you go through, you're giving them that first step
Yeah.
because that's the most important thing, the first step,
Mm.
you know? If you
Yeah. There's
if you
some.
can't take the if you can't take the first step, then I'm sure a lot of times you have come across people who probably say that they feel alone, right? Or they
Yeah.
think that they're the only ones who are thinking this.
Yeah.
So just being open about it and being honest that, yeah, this stuff does occur. This stuff does happen, you know?
Yeah, I was just gonna add that I'm looking at the blog post, and there's a lot of great information from some trustworthy resources, such as the Centers for Disease Control, which tracks,
Hmm.
mental health data and statistics. Is that something that, you know, that you really tried to focus on? Is here's kind of the data that supports what you're going through.
Yeah. kind of that idea again. We're not professionals, so we're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you information that isn't true. And we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
pull from sources that are
Right.
valid and what's the word I'm looking for, that are I don't want to say recognizable, but
Yeah.
reputable. That's the word,
Yeah. Yep.
reputable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And provide people with statistics and data that shows that they aren't alone and shows that they can get through this if they take
Yeah.
that first step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Man, good, really, really good stuff, man. So I actually want to ask something specific about the chocolates because as a health and life coach,
Yeah.
They're dark
there,
chocolate. No.
yeah, you know where I'm going with it. You know where I'm going. So with the milk chocolate, yes, that can provide like that temporary satisfaction, right? But
Hmm.
if you actually use dark chocolate as well, that can also help the I got to get it right now. The serotonin levels
Ooh.
in the brain, and if you want to stick with
Mm.
like dark chocolate that's 85% or more cacao, it might be a little bitter for some people, but that's also a healthier option than just like a sugar packed piece of chocolate as well.
Okay.
Not sure if you had looked into that, and it's okay if you didn't. That's not expected because you're already doing something that's just phenomenal anyway.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to throw that out there that might be something you can evolve to uh, as you continue to grow. You know.
Yeah,
I'm,
we
I'm
actually
gonna.
hadn't considered that. I'm writing that down in my notes. I'm gonna bring it up after this as this part
JP,
is like,
I will happily take the Skittles and the Haribo gummy bears and the Nerds. I will happily accept those.
Jr. Man, I can send you the all of
Send
that
me
chewy
yours.
candy.
Send
Yeah,
me
yeah.
yours.
I
Yeah.
I had to pull it out of her bag because she's got braces, so I can send it to you. Oh man. So, JP, man, is there like I want to ask you this? What what do you think? Or before we get to that, actually, I have a different question. What has been some of the feedback that you've gotten from? Because I know you've only been technically live for about a month, you said.
yeah,
Um, what's some of the feedback that you've gotten from any friends, any peers? What's some of the feedback, or even like teachers, administration?
yeah. Our teachers at our schools supported the idea, and as well as our peers, and which is great. We appreciate that. And some of the feedback we received really just deals with the pricing, and um, and that's
Okay,
understandable because we want it to be as affordable as possible.
sure,
And
sure.
the we talked to I forget her name, but
Mhm.
she works for a government foundation that does nonprofit grants, because we were looking to become a nonprofit at some point, and
Yeah.
we want to know what that would
Mhm.
be and how that would look.
Right.
And she gave us feedback regarding how currently our business has the potential of selling just one pack of gum, which
Mhm.
does, yeah, that you can do that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense financially because it would cost
Hmm.
way more than just going to the store and buying a pack of gum.
Right.
But
Right, right.
but yeah, she gave the feedback of trying to make bundles instead of having individual things that you can
Yeah.
select, which would streamline the
Ah,
process a lot more, which
Hmm.
I understand.
Yeah.
But it also kind of takes away from our purpose of allowing it to be what you want it to be or what you
Right.
want to provide for
sure,
someone else. But
sure.
she just gave us a very business standpoint of it, which is completely
Yeah.
understandable.
Yep.
She is a businesswoman. That's what she's supposed to do.
Well, and that's awesome feedback
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like now you have an understanding of how you can scale your business, how you can move forward, but like you also said, still keep
Yeah.
it customizable, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Wow, that's man, are you sure you're a senior in high school? Uh, Are you sure? It
I mean,
sounds like you're a senior
economic
in college.
literacy,
Right.
social, mental wellness. That was
So
not on my radar as a senior.
social empathy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
What's that one meme? Who are you?
Yeah, this is fantastic, JP.
Yeah. No, we make jokes, we're having fun, but
Yeah.
we really truly are impressed by you, by Noemi. Um, how many other people do you have any other people involved with you to this point, or is it just you and Noemi still?
It's just us two right now.
Mm, okay.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Um, JR, you have any other questions? Because I do have one more for JP.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. All right. So, JP, man, what is what is one thing that you would like to leave our listeners with? What's one thing that you would want them to know about Karna? About no, not yet, not yet. JP, you gotta tell us, why is it called Karna?
Oh. uh,
Like,
it's
I
called.
know why. Yeah,
Yeah.
JR knows why, but
Yeah.
you know what? We got to tell our listeners, why is it called Karna?
It's called Karna because Karna is a Roman goddess. She's the goddess of internal health and organs,
Mhm.
and well, mental health. That's your brain is an internal organ, believe it or not. and and we felt like she and what she is in Roman mythology, I guess it would be, uh, what she represents portrays what we're trying to do. We're trying to heal and support people's internal and mental health.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad I remembered that because I almost let that go. I
Good
have to say, like
catch.
when I read that, I was like, wow, that is that like JR. You talk about foresight, right?
Yeah.
Just with everything you're doing,
Yeah.
to actually think it through that far, to call your business that because of that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's
To
well
to
done.
move with purpose,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
To move with purpose.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So now getting back to what I was going to ask before. But what is one thing that you would like our listeners to know about Karna, or to know about mental wellness, and what the youth are doing about that? What's one thing you might want them to know?
Um, I want them to know that youth advocacy in general, not even specific to mental health, is often overlooked because it is coming from youth. I feel like that's a complete oversight on part of adults. You're supposed to be supporting us as we take lead in this country, and in the future, hopefully, have to run the country if it's still standing. But but youth advocacy is something that should not be overlooked. Students need to have a place at the table if we want things to be the way our children, like our children's children, wants it to be, and what we want our children's children to live in. Uh, Having students at the table also gives a completely new perspective on how we run things, because at least with DCPS and with school systems in general,
Mhm.
students are the one experiencing all the changes, not the adults. None of the adults really know what it's like to be in the schools, so
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense to have all adults who don't go to the schools at the table,
Mm.
at least alone at the table. Have some
Sure.
students.
Man,
Facts.
well said.
Facts.
Yes. You talk about the mic drop. That's it.
Yeah.
Right
There we
there.
go.
Man, but I appreciate you leaving that, because it's right and it's true.
Yeah.
There's
Absolutely.
and I do want to tell you that there are those of us like Move the Needle, this podcast, JR, myself. There
Mhm.
are those of us who are definitely in the fight with you
Yeah.
and standing beside you. But yes, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you put it out there, because we can't do it alone, and we need more people to join that
Mhm.
fight for youth
Right.
advocacy.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, man, this has been another great episode of Move the Needle. JR, I appreciate you as always co-hosting. And JP, man, I hope this is not the last time that we have you on Move the Needle.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to come back, a couple months or whatever. And whenever you have some updates about Karna and what you
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
doing, would love for you to come back and do another episode with us. Um, Folks, you can find Move the Needle and other Live All Good podcasts under the family of Live All Good podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts. We are on Amazon. Also, before we go, I'd like to drop a little nugget for December that you can find. I'm actually doing a live podcast every Tuesday on the Podcast Business News Network. That's Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, we have an author of a book called Calvin. And JR, when does that book come out?
So Calvin comes out November the 9th. It is available for pre-order on Amazon.
All right. We will definitely be talking about those things in December, because those are also some things that are going to move the needle, and they are some serious topics that need to be discussed in the country. So we appreciate you taking the time to listen. Until next time, this has been the latest episode of Move the Needle.